Welcome, future masters. I wanted to show you this king and pawn endgame. It was really kind of interesting. So I wanted you guys to have a chance to take a look at this and see some stuff that you probably won't see in your own games for quite some time. So black just played b6, and I, as white, played b4. As you can see, the Stockfish computer likes b4. This is a restrictive move to keep him from trying to hammer our chain at c5. So my opponent played c5 anyway. I'm like, okay, what have you? It's like, I thought a4 was slightly better, but b5 is also good. I considered it briefly, but this was a blitz game. It's like, I don't think it really makes a big difference. I'm still winning this. Because really, if he plays c takes whatever, I just take it back. It's no big deal. So he played a5. I didn't think it was that great of a move, but that forced my hand. Can't just sit there. He'll hammer me on b4. So then the choice at this point, if I was at b5, I would just play b takes a6 en passant. So b5 technically is better than a4, but both moves are good. So I played takes, of course, because b takes a5 allows him to possibly make the mistake of c takes d4. That would have been a mistake for him. But anyway, so that's not what happened. I played the centralizing move, king to e4, because if you look at the kingside pawns, they're completely locked, which is fine for white. No problem. He's got no problem. So I've got 2 holding 3, and I've got 4 versus 3 on the rest of the board. That was when I was saying that I thought I had a chance to win this endgame when I selected this endgame opportunity, because I thought 4 versus 3 is a winning chance for me that's very strong, especially with the weakened pawns. So now we got to this point, and I want you guys to take a look at this. You can pause the video if you want, but I don't really think very many people who see this video are going to be able to figure this out. This is not an easy position to figure out what's going on. So you can pause the video now, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. The killer move of killer moves here, king to d3. And the reason this is a killer move is because we get the opportunity to get in front of the c-pawn. So he has options, none of which are really very exciting. If he plays, and the best move is pawn, the computer's the best move was pawn takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. Now he's got a problem. White is going to play c4, and he can't stop c4. Well, he can stop c4, but it's going to cost him. If he plays king to d5, then h3, and he's just going to have to go right back. It doesn't matter. So he can stop c4 one move. He can't play h3 because I just play c4. I mean king c4. And then this becomes the brutalization. We'll make this e-pawn a pass pawn, and the rest is, history. So that was the killer move, was king to d3. And I wanted you guys to see this, because if you look back, this is not an obvious move at all. So in this position, the correct move is king to d3. So it's just really an interesting thing. Like I said, it's not obvious. You could still play this and get a, a good position by playing c4. But king to d3 is just like next level. A super difficult move to find because it's just not obvious. Because once you play king d3, if black played king d5, that's a problem. Isn't it? I believe that is a problem. Yeah, it's the same thing, h3. You can play h3, and if he plays c4 check, king to e3, exclamation, as you can see, he's forced. He's got only one move on the board that can be played as king move. King to here. Yeah, I don't know. King to d2. What the heck does that do? He can't do anything. There's literally nothing he can do. He's forced, really. He can't. He could not. He can't play king d7 because d6 is just devastating. The obvious move, and it's over. So this is the thing. You look at king and pawn endgames, and this is not something that you have to commit to memory at all. I want to stress that. This is not a memory test type of position. We want to look at this, or we want you to see this so that it gives you something to think about, because this is super rare. You're hardly ever going to see this kind of move. But you see it now. It's in your brain. You've seen this concept of the waiting move for position. The king to d3 move goes here because you're looking for superior position versus something else. So, I wouldn't kill myself to try and figure this out specifically. Just look at it and understand what's going on is just good enough. This is super difficult and not for lower ranked players to really grasp at this point. But having seen it, it just gives you something to plant in the back of your brain that down the road is like a seed you plant, and then in the future it's going to flower on its own. But you need to see it before you are even expected to even play it. But, just seeing this is good enough. So I wanted you guys to take a look at this king and pawn endgame, because this is just a devastating move that you just don't see very often. And I figured it was so rare and hardly seen that you guys needed to have a shot to look at it. So hopefully you like this example. Like my video, comment, subscribe, you'll get more gold. You know what the deal is. I'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy.